Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and tonight I want to talk about Resident Evil and why I chose to buy it on the Xbox Series X over the PlayStation 5. No, it's nothing crazy about like the PlayStation having terrible visuals. Basically, what it boils down to is I cannot expand the memory on my PlayStation 5 yet, and I'm running out. And I'm not the kind of person that likes to transfer games from the hard drive to the other hard drive and then transfer them back. I just want to play my games when I want to play my games. Um, let's go over how it looks on the Series X though, because the first two demos I played on the PlayStation 5 and they looked fine. I was completely satisfied with the way they look. Um, I do think that the Series X has a little more push when it comes to the checkerboard rendering on hair and like vegetation and stuff because it wasn't as noticeable as it was on PS5 in the village demo during in the weeds and stuff. On the hair, on the individuals and stuff like that, you could definitely notice it a little bit more on the PlayStation 5 version than you can on the Series X. But I mean, that's just a little bit of bonus. You still got basically the same pop in either way. I mean, some stuff pops in really harsh transitions, but overall, look at this game for $60. Yeah, I'm satisfied with it. It looks really good for a first year for new gen game, and some of the videos I've seen, of about and Capcom saying that it's going to be like 45 frames with the ray tracing on there. That's not the experience that I just had. It seemed like it was running at a pretty solid 60 FPS the whole time through the outdoor village, but I hadn't turned it on for the inside demo because I didn't know you had to actually go into you have to go to the main menu and switch it, and I was already in the demo playing, and you only get an hour, so I wanted to just leave it and then switch it over when I got to the village part because um, yeah, I felt like that was the best option for at that time. But as far as I'm concerned, it looks great. Like I'm satisfied with this. I cannot wait to play this next weekend. I'll be streaming it live here on Frogboy X1 Gaming. Um, you're more than welcome to come and watch and talk about it. I'm a day one since the first one Resident Evil player. I've played every single game, even the stupid ones that came out on PlayStation One and Sega Sat or no PlayStation One and Sega Dreamcast, the rail shooter ones. Like those were pretty dumb, but yeah, I mean I've been here for all of them. I've watched all the movies and continued to support Resident Evil because it's one of my favorite games. I always I've always been able to buy Capcom games day one without having to worry about the quality or the content of the games. Um, not even the Resident Evil 3 remake. I was completely satisfied with that. It took me 4 hours to run through that. My first playthrough on it. Normally I don't really ever play through them a second time, but that one looked so good. I wanted to redo it. And when it first came out on the Series X, it was running at a pretty. I mean, it was a little bit rough frame rate rise, but I mean, you were getting a native 4K on that, so it was really good. I wish they would kind of just go back and touch both of them up for the next gen systems and bring them both up to 4K with higher quality textures. That would be awesome. I'd really appreciate it if Capcom would do that, and maybe even possibly Resident Evil 7, like give it a slight makeover so that people new to the series and that have newer consoles can pick up that double pack and be able to experience both games at at a more consistent visual quality. That would be awesome. I'd really appreciate Capcom doing that. Um, so yeah, in closing, my thoughts on Resident Evil Village are positive. I am very happy with the way this is turning out, and I do highly recommend. getting this game. I will definitely have a review up after I'm done completing the game, or maybe halfway through, depending on how it turns out. If it turns out better than I expected and it's really really good, I probably will stop and do a review just to continue to say how wonderful it is. But I'm a little biased. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I've been playing since the first one, and I don't even care. I've not once have I been let down. Well, I mean those shooter ones, those rail shooter ones, and didn't really care too much about the Revelations games. Resident Evil 6. I mean it was fun, but I didn't like the way it was starting to go. But I still bought it and I still enjoyed it. It was still a fun game. Still continued the story and stuff. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned with Resident Evil 8 after the demo, I have no hesitation in purchasing this game day one, and I don't think you should either. It's it's quality, and Capcom has usually stuck by their products for the most part. They're one of those companies that I've been playing games. I mean, I was playing on the regular Nintendo Ghosts and Goblins way back in 19 in the early 80s and stuff, and those games I've been a Capcom supporter ever since. They've always made a good game, Street Fighter, everything you can imagine. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will definitely be putting out as much content as possible, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.